Welcome to the B&G Virtual Invitational, where 5 sailors in a yachtsandyachting.com competition will be taking on 5 of Team B&G sailors. Let's take a look at the sailors in the B&G Virtual Invitational. Henry Bomby, B&G Ambassador and Professional Sailor.
As I'm not able to be out on the water at the moment, training for the new mixed keelboat class at the Paris 2024 Olympics, I'm very much looking forward to racing for Team B&G in a virtual regatta. I look forward to seeing you there.
Hannah I met through sailing a long time ago, but kind of got to know each other during the last Volvo Ocean race. Hannah sailed on 11th hour racing and I sailed on Turn the Tide on plastic, and there's obviously quite a bit of time in port and we're kind of from the same generation of British sailors, I guess, so you kind of chat in between the legs and of how it went and the different experiences and things.
Tom Cheney, Software Engineer at INEOS Team UK.
I'm Tom Cheney, part of the performance team at INEOS Team UK. During this America's Cup, we're doing lots of sailing in the simulator, so I'm hoping I can bring some of that experience to win the B&G Lockdown Cup. My job kind of marries my passion for sailing and my sort of career in technology, and I'm kind of trying to bring those two things together to win the America's Cup. B&G is a really great partner for us. They've got a massive heritage in the America's Cup, and we're using their wind sensors on the race boat and on our chase boats. We're putting a load of effort into developing these systems that run on the boat to help the sailors sail the boat and get as much out of it as possible.
Hugh Brayshaw, Navigator and Figaro Skipper.
Hi, it's Hugh Brayshaw here. Excited to be virtually sailing in the B&G Virtual Invitational and spend most of my time in front of a computer screen navigating offshore, so hoping that'll be something similar. See you there.
Miles Seddon, Offshore Navigator and Navigation Systems Expert.
Hi, my name's Miles Seddon and I'm really looking forward to taking part in the B&G Virtual Regatta on Wednesday and being part of the B&G Virtual team.
And so taking on our 5 Team B&G sailors today, we have Sam McNamara, Nigel Biggs, Ben Harris, Sam Whaley and James Anderson, who are the 5 sailors who won the yachtsandyachting.com competition to take on the sailors in the B&G Virtual Invitational. And so, without further ado, let's go into race 1 of the B&G Virtual Invitational. Okay, we have 25 seconds to the start here. Everybody lining up here, and you can see another beautiful day in virtual regatta. In the real world, we're seeing rain for the first time in a very long time in the UK, so a perfect day for virtual sailing, especially since there was no wind. Six seconds to go for the first race. Lining up, we can see right down at the pin end, looks like Ben Harris, right on the pin, very good start there. And the fleet cleanly away, not a single penalty. That is very strange. We don't often see that in virtual racing. And you can see Ben Harris won the pin ends there. We'll just go on board with him and in the lead. And so Ben, great start there on the pin end.
Just decided that was where the game was going to be.
And right now it looks like you're exactly level with Hugh Brayshaw there. Exactly level. Hugh, you've got the little blue tick beside your name. Do you want to explain a little bit about that?
I think I put in my real name. I couldn't think of any original username, and then they gave me a blue tick. I think you have to put in your World Sailing ID or something.
Okay, so if you become official and actually put in all of the details, it gives you that little blue tick and makes you official. Wow.
Yeah, actually, you hit the target.
Now, just taking the lead there, we just see Sam Whaley, one of our stars from the splashes when Great Britain took on Australia and beat the Australians in virtual regatta, Tom Slingsby and all. Sam, how does it feel to be taking part now in the B&G Virtual Invitational?
Yeah, it's really nice to be racing again. Obviously, the splashes were a few weeks ago, and yeah, I've just been sort of slowly chipping away, doing a few races here and there, but it'll be good racing today.
And the fleet seems to be a little bit separated out. We've got Henry Bombi just at the back, 62 metres off the lead. So, Henry, are you on the line there?
Yeah, I've got it. I apologise for my internet. It keeps jumping the boat around everywhere, so it's quite hard to be accurate, but I'll do my best.
Okay, you'll do your best. You're down in Exeter, I understand.
Yeah, in a remote village in Devon.
Okay, so a little bit.
So I'm blaming the location.
Okay, well, wow, amazingly, Ben Harris managed to get round the windward mark there without getting a penalty. That looked extremely tight to me. But here we have in the lead, Hugh Brayshaw. The blue tick is clearly working for you. We can see you there. Just a nice 30-metre lead over the fleet. Now, that's going to keep you out of the wind shadows quite well. Do you think that's a big enough lead to keep out of that wind shadow from Ben Harris there, Hugh?
Hoping so. I saw Sam jive that earlier, which was pretty good for me.
Oh no!
What have we got? There's a huge oh no there.
I dropped out. Internet went. Oh dear.
The virtual.
I was last anyway, so I don't suppose it matters.
The internet dropping out. It is that virtual gear failure that we have seen before. There they are, the fleet just rounding the leeward mark there. With one deciding to tack straight away on the leeward mark. Interesting tactic. But Hugh Brayshaw, still nice little lead there, deciding to just tack straight on top of Sam Whaley. Sam just tacks off to just try and keep his air clear. So some really good tactics going on here, but just giving himself a little bit of space on that port lay line. But then deciding actually to go right into that port lay line, keeping a good cover on Sam Whaley. Sam again tacks off, trying to keep his air clear. This is quite a battle, but Hugh just stretching out his lead there, 30 metres upwind, will translate into a really nice lead into the downwind legs as well. So really good stuff by Hugh, just tactically just gaining as he comes into that last windward mark in race one. And so Team B&G sailor Hugh Brayshaw seems to be starting off very well. But of the challengers, Sam Whaley, right up there with Ben Harris, another challenger, part of the British youth sailing team in the NACRA 15s and current under-23 national champion in the Europe. So we've got two of the challengers in second and third places overall. Here we can see we're just on board with Ben Harris, just downwind, right on the tail of Sam Whaley. He's going to have some options when Sam decides to jibe. Ben will be going for probably a bit of cover on him. Is that going to be your tactics there, Ben, without giving too much away?
I think we've got to worry a bit about our boats behind as well, but see how it plays out.
You've got a 50-metre gap to there. It is you've got Miles Seddon and Alan Davies. Well, Alan's just picked up a penalty, so Miles, you've still got a big lead over them. So I'd say you can probably go on the attack rather than defend here. Remember, a B&G Vulcan 7 chartplotter up for grabs, so I'd say really go on the attack there. And here he is. The jibing duel is on. Hugh Brayshaw, we can see just going nicely, just cruising into the finish. But a huge battle going on between Sam Whaley and Ben Harris. So, Sam, how are you going to hold him off?
It's going to be close here, actually. Really, really close.
It looks right on. This is really close stuff. Just 2 metres separating as they're coming into the finish. Will he hold him off? This is as close as it gets. That finish. Great stuff, that jibing duel. And here the rest of the fleet just coming into the finish line now.
No.
Some really close battles, a few little penalties happening as well.
I'm not sure they were little penalties, Mark. They were pretty big where I was concerned.
Let's take a look at the results there, confirming the win for Hugh Brayshaw. Sam Whaley in second, Ben Harris third, and then in fourth, James Anderson came up. So we've got 3 of the challengers in second, third, and fourth. Let's take a look at the stats. There you can see Sam Whaley just started off in second place, but Hugh Brayshaw there, once he got the lead at that first windward mark, came through and just held the lead throughout. great first race. And of course, there, Baron M, Sam McNamara, sadly, looks like the virtual gear failure with his internet connection. So Sam, it's always a little bit of a risk with virtual regatta that things are going to go wrong with the internet. How did it feel? Like, we heard the scream during the race.
It was awful.
Yeah, it is that frustrating moment. So let's just take a little bit of a look at some of the ways that B&G's products are used.
Sailing, you simply cannot beat it.
I'm Dan.
And my name is Kika, and we're currently sailing around the world aboard a sailboat Uma.
Hi, I'm Natasha. With the help of some neat technology, I can sail my boat using my breath.
This system helps me better interact with nature, which is why I'm here.
Certainly something we're exploring is ourselves.
My passion for sailing really comes from just that sensation of freedom, being out in the water. Really is an amazing opportunity to try so many different types of boats and styles of racing.
They're very fast boats, very dangerous. We've got to make sure that we're at the top of our game. It's wind on water, competitive sailing at its best.
Still waiting on a few players, Mark.
Okay, we are waiting on a few players. We're just ready, getting ourselves ready for race 2 of the B&G Virtual Invitational. There was a great win there for Hugh Brayshaw, but the challengers were right on his tail. Have we got everybody in now, Adam? I can see 11.
Yeah, I'm going to start the sequence if that's all right.
Fantastic. Let's go into the sequence of race 2 of the B&G Virtual Invitational, sailing in J70s. So Hugh, that win in race 1, feeling confident going into race 2?
Not really. Things can change pretty quickly in this game. But yeah, it's nice to get a bullet in the first one to start things off.
And we can see the fleet just lining up nicely for the start there with 18 seconds to go. And there again on the pin end, looks like Ben Harris just lining up for his favourite pin end there. Is this a tactic you use out on the real race course there?
I think it differs from race to race, but on this course, it seems pretty nice. It seems to be working well.
Sam Whaley just picking up, and Henry Bombi just picking up penalties on the start line, and Hugh Brayshaw, our winner of race 1, just picking up a penalty. So we've got Alan Davies. So a B&G employee in the lead. I promise there's no bias on this game. But Alan, 4 metre lead. Surely with a 4 metre lead, you're not going to throw that away at all.
I suspect it's going to go one way or the other. And I wanted to go right.
And we're on board with you. This looks like a very close call. Yep, you've got to cross on port there. You can see the rest of the fleet. It's looking like it's going to be tight there. I think you're probably going to be losing your lead there.
Yep. I'm surprised Hugh hasn't got it already looking at where he is.
Yeah. So this is going to be very tight, though, going into the windward mark. Now, if you're coming in on port, Alan, what tactics are you going to be using? Just ploughing in?
So this is a very interesting virtual regatta thing I've learned. Going behind a big fleet of boats doesn't pay. You just go in on port and tack on the mark and take your penalty.
And Adam, which venue are we actually at here?
I think we're at Rio for this one.
Rio. I'm just looking at the mountainous background and wondering if we're in Porto Cervo, where we see the J70s and a lot of piling in on port. And so actually in Rio, of course, yeah, we can see the main rocks there. So, and yes, there is the statue on the hill. This is going to be very tight coming into the windward mark. Alan is just beyond the port ley line. So you're going to have a good bit of pace coming in on port at this windward mark.
I think I'm a couple of tenths up, but usually at this stage of this game, I think the wind decides to just go the other way. We'll see.
And Sam Whaley, you had a penalty on the start line, but now seem to be in the lead. A good first beat.
Yeah, I just got on the first shift first and yeah, struggled with that penalty. That was a bit annoying, but just one of those things, really. But at least I was on the correct shift first and kind of just taking the shifts from there.
Okay, the top three very, very tight. Sam going for the Spinnaker Hockey-Stirly, rounding the windward mark in the lead. Followed by Baron M, which is... Baron M is... Oh, I've got to find him now. Sam McNamara in second place. Hopefully won't be suffering from internet failure. Nobody wants to have gear failure 2 races in a row. We're just still on board with Alan Davies. There's this jibing duel down to the leeward marks. But Sam Whaley, the hero of the splashes, in the lead. Very tight leeward mark rounding there, Alan. Looks like your tactics of just going in hard and fast on the windward mark also applies for the leeward mark?
Yeah, a little bit. I saw I had rights there, so I thought I'd take the risk.
Excellent. I do wonder if all of this virtual regatta sailing is going to make everyone just a little bit more gung-ho when they're racing in the real world. And maybe they're going to forget that the splinters of fiberglass actually result in a bit of cost. And I don't think the insurance companies are going to be too happy if that happens. So let's hope that people remember in the real world that you can't quite get away with the tactics you can in virtual regatta.
They won't do it twice.
Now, Miles, we're just going to go on board with you. The instrumentation that you've got in virtual regatta, does this in any way equate to what you would see on your instruments in the real world? We know you're a navigation expert.
Some of it, you've got the wind angle, you've got your boat speed on there. So, you can see what you're... Now you've got me talking and doing 2 things at once.
Nice little head to wind. It's quite clear.
Yeah, lovely. Little wind check there.
So can you rub your tummy and pat yourself on the head at the same time? Because it's quite clear you can't talk and play virtual regatta.
I get that badly wrong as well. Yes, there are similarities to what you can see, but obviously on the real boats we have a bit more information.
And what one piece of telemetry would you really like to see in virtual regatta that you have on your B&G instruments that you'd think would be really useful on virtual regatta?
I think some of the I'm just trying to think, time to line, something like that. You do get that in some of the, you can get those little helps in this all the time, but it's something when we're starting, we use that a lot. Time to burn is pretty useful. So the starting package is very limited to what we're used to on a racing yacht.
So that information when you ping the ends of the line and
when you're pinging the ends
and the time to the line.
And we're just getting the times to the line, things like that. It is there on when you choose all the helps. But it's a bit more advanced in the real world than what you've got in virtual regatta.
And all of that talking has put you into last place by quite some distance.
Set me up beautifully from 5th to last there.
And the race itself, Sam Whaley went on to take the win so the top challenger there was Sam, with Alan Davies from B&G in second place, followed by Baron M, that's Sam McNamara, no internet problems that time. And then we had Sail Geek TC, that's Tom Cheney from Ineos Team UK, an engineer, software engineer. So he knows very well what it is with this kind of software and all of the information that's going on, and probably feels a lot for the software developers who've had to do so much during lockdown on the development of virtual regatta with so many people playing the game. And so now let's see a message actually from Ineos Team UK, who are partnered with B&G for their instrumentation. Let's have a quick message and some words from Sir Ben Ainsley.
My passion for sailing really comes from loving being on the water for a start. Just that sensation of freedom, feeling the water running under the boat, it's a fantastic feeling. And drives the passion and the motivation to be involved with successful teams and try and get the desired results. The wind speed and the wind angle is obviously critical in terms of monitoring our performance, the performance of the race boat, and so B&G have helped us massively in that regard.
So Sam, are you feeling the pressure going into this final race?
Not really. I'm just going to play the game, try my best, hopefully execute the strategy well, and if it happens, it happens. If not, not too fast. It's
25 seconds to the start here. See everybody, we're going to watch this race from the committee boat end. Once again, it looks like a bit of pin end bias, quite a bit of pin end bias, so the whole fleet lining up there. The couple just coming in with a lot of pace from the committee boat end. 4, 3, 2, 1, go. The final race of the B&G Virtual Invitational, and the fleet is away. Ben Harris in the lead. And Ben Harris, British Youth Sailing Team member, used to the NACRA 15s, but doing well here in the J70s. So Ben, very decent start there.
Yeah, it's just trying to get away and clean out. I had too many penalties in the last race, so trying to avoid that this time.
And we're just watching there as Miles Seddon, the One Eye Nav, part of Opposite Tack, the founder of Opposite Tack, which sort of used a lot of the B&G instrumentations, just putting quite a bit of a cover on there, but still near the back of the fleet. So I'm not going to ask you to talk too much. Don't want to affect you anymore.
Don't
there.
do that again.
So we'll go on board with 463, which is in the lead. This is James Anderson. And James, I don't think we have on the Zoom call, so we can't actually get him in the commentary, which is probably quite wise, just so that he can concentrate on the racing itself. But there we see now in the lead, Tom Cheney from Ineos Team UK. Unfortunately, the video wasn't choosing to play. We're showing some of the Ineos instrumentation that is used. So how much do you work with B&G on the instrumentation there? Just talking with Tom Cheney.
Quite a bit. We are using B&G's wind sensors on the race boat and on quite a few of our chase boats as well. We've got a full WTP system on our big chase boat. We're pretty dependent on good old-fashioned measuring the wind to work out what our performance numbers really mean. So.
And the AC-75s, you must have instrumentation coming out of your ears to keep those boats going, and it must be quite a challenge.
Yeah, I think we're up to something crazy like 6,000 different variables being logged on the boat now, which is makes it a bit challenging when you're trying to work out which one you want to look at.
An extraordinary amount of data to work with. So actually visualizing that data must be really difficult. And one of the things with the B&G instrumentation is visualization of the data. And Alan, I know that is something that you are working on all of the time. And we recently spoke where you were talking about you can come up with all the ideas, but you then need to make sure it's something that's useful for the sailors. Is that a constant challenge, Alan?
Just like sailing this boat at the back of the fleet. So I got a penalty. Ben gave me a penalty, which is good because I gave him one on the way up the beach. So fair is fair. It's useful. The great thing about this game is it strips everything down to the bare essentials. But as a guy who works with instruments a lot, you kind of miss a few pieces.
So just as Miles was saying, just having those extra bits of information, do you find yourself actually just becoming quite reliant on having that data? And even in the virtual game, you find you miss some of the familiar settings that you have on your B&G instruments.
The thing I miss most versus reality in this game is you don't get a wind trend.
Yes.
So you can't actually see the history and what the wind's been doing over the last few minutes. And you have no view whatsoever. Well, I think there's a cheat you can get to get some wind socks at the top or something. But essentially, there's not a great deal you can do to see where the wind's going to be.
So if you're looking for that oscillation where you have it on your B&G instrument, you can see the oscillation easily, and you're feeling a little bit blind without it.
Yep, it's definitely dinghy sailing, but with even less information, I think, in some cases.
Sam Whaley just rounding the windward mark first there, and looking very, very good there. And then just behind, we've got Hugh Brayshaw, a regular Solitaire de Figaro sailor and Rorke sailor, winning the Myth of Malum, and also 470 and 420 sailor. So Hugh, you're representing the B&G team, probably one of the top sailors of the B&G team, but the challenger's really taking it to you here.
Yeah, I had an absolute shocker in that second one. To be honest, I tried to luff Sam out, knowing he's a big threat. Obviously, it didn't go well, but now we're back in the race here.
So it seems Sam's practice in this virtual racing really has put him in good stead, and the confidence that he's shown when actually on the live stream just shows the difference that can make. But in second place here, but Sam now a 64-meter lead. Are you thinking attack or defend now, Hugh?
I'm definitely defend on TC, who's driving on me nicely. I think he's got a bit of a game on as well.
Yeah, I can just see them there. Well, Miles Seddon, you're up into second place, so that would seem a great time to talk to you, just to put you back down.
Perfect.
The fleet.
Yeah, let's have a chat.
Excellent. So coming into the leeward mark, what kind of errors can you make while talking?
Everything here. I can definitely manage to get fourth from second easily.
Oh,
have I managed that?
Yes, you have managed that. Well done. Exactly.
There we go. I'm confident in my prediction there. So there we are.
Well, knowing your instrumentation, you clearly knew exactly what was going to happen.
Exactly. Know your numbers. That used to be the title of the B&G seminars we used to deliver.
And that you certainly...
look at that. I know.
There,
yeah. All exciting.
1.5 seconds. You lost it by to Sail Geek TC, Tom Cheney in third place. But our winner in race 3, and clearly our winner overall, Sam Whaley. Another race win. Hugh Brayshaw doing a great job for Team B&G there in second place, and also Tom Cheney of Ineos Team UK in third place, overtaking Miles Seddon while doing a little bit of a chat there. And there in fifth, Nigel Biggs was up there. Nigel, you actually got into the top half of the fleet. Well done.
Yeah, it's much easier in real life with some proper information, as the guys say.
Yeah. So, what do you find you missed most on the virtual sailing there, Nigel?
I think the speed to burn or time to burn at the stars, definitely. It's I think I might as well be using an egg timer at the moment.
And XIX, I presume that name is part of the whole Checkmate series of boats that you've had.
Yeah, the theory is the next one would be 19, so I might have to deny it being the virtual boats, to be honest.
Okay, so the virtual number maybe will actually turn into a real world boat. And what is your current Checkmate?
Currently, it's a half tonner Checkmate 18. It's a 1985 half tonner that's been pimped up a little bit. It's time travel, but we've got good close racing, so a bit of fun.
Fantastic stuff. Now, Adam, I don't want to put any pressure on you, but have you got anything with the overall results there? We think we know the winner.
I have.
Okay, so first of all, let's take a look let's do the top 5, can we? Working from 5th.
Yeah, so in 5th overall, on 18 points, is X1X is Nigel Biggs.
In 5th place, brilliant.
In 4th place, we've got 463, James Anderson, also on 18 points.
Yeah, that's 2 of our challengers in 5th and 4th, and in 3rd place?
Sail Geek TC, so Tom Cheney on 13 points. Then in 2nd place, it's Hugh Brayshaw with 10 points. And then our winner is Whaley X, Sam Whaley on 4 points.
So the man who was the hero of the splashes when Great Britain took on Australia has won the B&G Vulcan 7 chart plotter. A fantastic prize for this virtual racing. 5 were randomly chosen from the yachtsandyachting.com competition to take on Team B&G. And the challengers have really acquitted themselves well, becoming 5th, 4th and 1st in the rankings. But Team B&G 2nd and 3rd. Tom Cheney in 3rd and Hugh Brayshaw in 2nd. But Sam, to win the B&G Vulcan 7, I presume this won't be going on your laser.
I was thinking about how I could incorporate it on my laser, actually. But yeah, I'm not sure. I'll see if I can put on a yacht that I know.
And the virtual sailing, you've really taken to this, and it's another great result for you. And you must be over the moon with the prize, the B&G Vulcan 7.
Yeah, thanks very much to the B&G guys. They've put on a great competition, and to provide a prize like this is really amazing. I just entered because I thought it'd be really cool racing all these guys, and it's been really cool, really good.
Well, fantastically well done. 2 race wins out of the 3 races. Superb performance. And Alan, hopefully now with more of the lockdown restrictions being eased, have you managed to make it out onto the water?
Not with a sail, only with an engine.
Only with an engine so far.
I don't fancy my no rescue boat moth sailing as quite high enough in the or low enough in the risk view for that one. So I'll wait till we have rescue cover back on the water, I think.
And have the team at B&G and Navico managed to adjust to the lockdown situation with everybody working at home?
Yes, remarkably well. Most of the guys work pseudo remotely with other offices anyway. We have like 40 offices around the world with various people in. So the remote tools were all there. I think the main shock was the short-term notice of it, but absolutely everybody's been doing a great job, and everything has been kept on time and doing very well.
Oh, that's fantastic. And I'd like to say a huge thanks for B&G for deciding to run this event, a great prize of the B&G Vulcan 7. And all of our challengers also get a B&G jacket. So there are five jackets going out to each who came through to the B&G Virtual Invitational. And Sam Whaley winning the B&G Vulcan 7, a fantastic prize. So thank you very much, everybody, for watching today. It's great to do another one of these virtual live streams, and I hope to see you either out on the water or on the virtual race course again soon. Take care.